This group of videos continues our range of shorter, more focused tutorials to help you with the techniques of Photoshop Creative Cloud. Now, when we think about presentation of our pictures, we can perhaps break that into two categories. Those we wish to present in the form of a print, and those we wish to display on screen. The techniques we need to use for print and for electronic images on screen is exactly the same. The only difference between them is the resolution of the image we're working with. Generally speaking, we're talking about high resolution for prints, and with this subject, our frame or border can be printed with the image. And of course lower resolution for screen display purposes, which makes this a valuable set of videos for audio-visual enthusiasts too, because audio-visual is all about presentation. In this category of tutorials, we've created around 15 videos on a variety of presentation topics, running in total for around 165 minutes. So the average length of each video is around 11 minutes, which makes it easy to find what you want or have a refresh on a particular subject. Presentation of our images is important to us. Look at how we present food. It would taste just the same if our Sunday lunch was mashed into a soup, but we wouldn't appreciate it or enjoy it quite so much. Images are no different in my view, but the core issue for us always is that any presentation method we use, it must help and support the image and not compete with it. I'm sure we've all seen the odd image presented on a completely inappropriate background, maybe a vivid green or a bright royal blue. Now, there have been occasions when I've seen images presented like that. And what would be our first thoughts when these images appear on screen? Well, I'm going to suggest that it's all about the frame and not the image, which proves my point that framing should be to enhance the image or at least remain neutral, never to compete with it. We often display our images digitally on PC screens, on our laptops, now more and more on televisions, also via PC projectors, and of course on iPads and other mobile devices. Sometimes it's worth just a little thought about how those other than ourselves will see our images. The best example for what I mean is the image we're looking at on screen here. It's an image with lots of dark areas around the edge. On our PC it can look fine, because the image is actually framed by the edge of our monitor, and in your case by the frame around your video. However, when we view the image on other devices, perhaps at a much smaller size, the dark edges of the image often bleed into the background, and it masks where the image begins and ends, and that can easily spoil the appeal and impact of that image. We mustn't forget some of the creative presentation options too, and as long as we use good judgment as always, we shouldn't go too far wrong. One of the improvements seen in Photoshop over recent times is the addition of smart filters. In actual fact, the software converts our image into a smart filter, and it's that which allows us non-destructive editing, but more importantly, the ability to chop and change filters and textures very quickly and easily. Now, that option on its own is a very valuable part of Photoshop for our creative work, because what do? We try something, see how it looks. If it doesn't work as well as we'd hoped, well, then we're able to back away and try something else with no loss of image quality at all, and best of all, we can do it quickly. I have included some of the images I have used in the making of these videos. so you can follow along and use ours if you wish. We do retain copyright of these images, so they are intended for you to just follow our tutorials only. But it probably is better if you can find your own images, because they'll have a better relevance to you. I've also included quite a range of artwork that you are free to use or modify and use in your own projects in any way you wish. They include around 16 background textures that you can apply to your images, around 50 different edge effects, and they're very easy to adjust, so you can take one of ours, make your own adjustments to it and use that. Around 60 high resolution frames, art frames, jigsaw frames, matte frames, which we're looking at here, oval frames and wooden frames. There's also something like 70 low resolution frames included. And finally, around 35 different artwork designs for multiple images to a page, both in JPEG format and also in Photoshop format, should you wish to apply layer styles to the images you're presenting. These files are not included with your original download. It may make that original download a little bit on the large side. You can download this content as and when you need it, and you'll find details within the folders you download. As always, we're available for comment and help via the email address you'll find on our contact page on our main website.